Hi there and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading will be an extended weekend reading focusing on the energy surrounding us during the weekend of May 11th through the 13th, 2018. For the reading, I will be using the Sun and Moon Tarot deck by Vanessa Decort, and I will pull an additional oracle card from the Earth Magic Oracle Card deck by Stephen D. Farmer. Just as a reminder, these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate with you. The only way for you to get a truly personalized reading focusing on you and what's going on in your life right now will be to get a private reading from me. There are many ways you can do this. The newest one is using the app Instant Go. Right? It's just a quick way to send me questions, right? Interact with me. You can send messages using Instant Go. I've put the link in the description box, and I also put out a separate video explaining a little bit more about that. You could also take a look at my site, changingphasestarot.weebly.com. There you'll find information about the types of readings that I offer, as well as pricing. Or you could email me at changingphasestarot@gmail.com. Just another quick reminder, the mid-monthlies, they will be coming out at the beginning of this next week, so be looking out for those. And the mid-monthlies focus on the areas of career and finance and love and relationships. Okay, so let's get started. So I have already shuffled off camera after meditating on the cards, but I will give the deck a few more shuffles here. So Spirit, what do we need to know? What are the messages for the weekend of May 11th through May 13th, 2018? What do we need to know? What are the energies surrounding us in the weekend of May 11th? I already have cards coming out. Let me just lay them there, and then I'll show them to you. Energies for, okay, well, 1, 2, 3. And one last shuffle, and then I'll get the card at the bottom of the deck. And the card at the bottom of the deck is the Two of Pentacles. Lay that there. And I will show you everything else. Let me just go ahead and pull the card from the Oracle deck. So one additional card, one additional message for the weekend of May 11th through the 13th. Okay, that one flipped over. All right, let me lower down my camera so you can see the cards a little better. Looks a bit dark. Let me put my light on, sorry. There we go. Okay, so we have in the past position, we have the Two of Cups. In this deck, it's called Love, followed by, in the center position, Major Arcana, the Hangman. And the outbound energy for the weekend is the Prince of Wands. And the card at the bottom of the deck, Two of Pentacles. And in this deck, it's called Change. And the Oracle card is Lake, Stillness. Okay, so starting off with the Two of Cups in the past position. So the Suit of Cups deals with our emotions, our feelings, relationships. And the Two of Cups is the minor arcana version of the Lover's card, right? It's the soulmate card. So for some of you, this does sit in the past position. So, going back to this past week, possibly a little bit longer than that, but usually with these, the weekend readings and the daily readings, it's usually extending back, a few days. So there could have been, you could have started up an important relationship with this Two of Cups card, right? It's all about sort of seeing yourself in another individual, right? Having that type of very deep soul connection with another person. Yes, it can, obviously be romantic in nature. Doesn't necessarily have to be. This can be a partnership. This can be, a very significant friendship. But it's when you find that person, and the person really there's a deep connection, right? They sort of, they're the mirror image of you. You see yourself in that individual. And it's a very powerful connection. Um, Obviously, yes, this can be, in a more romantic sense, this can be the beginning of a new relationship, could be some type of declaration of love. Um, we see in this card, we have see the reflection of the lotus here in the water. So, love that's very, a type of love that's very spiritual in nature, as above, so below. So it's a very beautiful, very soft, gentle, loving energy with this Two of Cups. And we do have two twos here. We have the Two of Cups, and then we have the Two of Pentacles as the overall energy. But then in the present, we have the Hangman, and this is card number 12. And then usually the Hangman, it represents some type of need to take time out to focus on, a specific situation. Many times it has to do with seeing things from a different point of view, from a different perspective. You can see on the card, obviously he's sort of meditating here. He's upside down. So he's gaining a new perspective. So this card can have to do with breaking out of old patterns, whether these are sort of mental patterns, ways of thinking, or just breaking out of some type of pattern. It has to do with kind of flipping things on their head, flipping things upside down in order to gain a higher belief, a higher point of view. Obviously, if this man were in the upright position, he would not be able to see things in the same way that he does by by being upside down. There's also a sense of surrender, giving into this moment, surrendering, accepting things for what they are because they're necessary. He's accepting the fact that he's in this position because it's necessary for him to see things from this new perspective. So with this card following the Two of Cups, there could have been excuse me, there could have been some need to see the relationship or something within the relationship from a different perspective, possibly, see that other person's point of view, you needing to change your perspective a little to understand that person more. And then we have the Prince of Wands as the outbound energy. And this could be an actual person. When we have court cards in a reading, they can be people that are playing a significant role. So in this case, over the weekend of the 11th through the 13th. If so, then typically this would be more of a middle-aged fire sign individual, Prince of Wands. So this could be Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries person, right? Male or female. But this, in the traditional deck, this would be the Knight of Wands. In this deck, he's called the Prince. And this person is very, could definitely be a Leo. We have the lion on here as well. So this could be a Leo individual. But he's very, sort of very self-assured. He's somebody who, he knows what he wants. He knows how to go after it. Out of all the knights, this Prince of Wands or Knight of Wands, he's the fastest moving of the knights, right? Because fire energy is very fast-paced energy, right? It starts up quickly. It burns out quickly. So he usually sort of rushes in. He's a very creative individual. He's also a go-getter. He's not scared to, start off on something new, start up something new. He's sort of the trailblazer, and he's also a very charismatic individual. People tend to follow him. He's kind of that leader, that born leader, and people tend to follow this individual. If this isn't a person, this could just be you. After this time of reflection, this time of seeing things from a new perspective, could be you just, really ready to go after and, move forward with whatever this is, move forward with this sense of, sort of renewed excitement in life, or renewed adventure, sense of adventure, possibly, some type of transformation. You see all the flames coming out of his wheels. It's kind of like the phoenix, rising from the ashes sort of thing. So transformation, growth, and definitely, lots of fiery, passionate, energy. And then we have as the overall energy for the weekend, the card change, right? The Two of Pentacles. And this, the Suit of Pentacles itself, it deals with the material things in life. So the tangible, the things we can touch and feel here in the material realm. There's tangible assets, material prosperity. It has to do with the work that we do and the money that we earn and our homes, our families, education, knowledge. But you see here how in this deck, you see how we have the yin yang, right? And there's a sort of figure 8 being formed there, and this, continual loop of balance, and it's called change. And this card, is all about restoring balance. So the change there, and we do have this, kind of looking at this with the Hangman and this shift in perspective, or shift in, the way that you view something. There could be a need for this change in order to restore balance in some way, whether this is balance in your life, balance in the relationship, balance in dealing with this other individual, if this is a person. Usually we think of the Two of Pentacles as having to do with, juggling, sort of balancing juggling your finances, possibly in order to make ends meet, waiting to pay one bill in order to pay a more, important one. It's that type of thing, literally juggling your balances. For other people, this Two of Pentacles can have to do with needing to sort of adapt and go with the flow. And if more things get thrown into the mix, instead of just juggling the two, if more things get added, the ability to kind of go with the flow, change, adapt. And then there is, in this particular deck, there is this, change, but a change in order to restore balance is really what goes along with, with this card. It's also about, we can see, with this, the figure 8 here, it's kind of faint. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's this cycle, right? It's the figure 8, this never-ending. It's the eternity, this never-ending cycle. Bringing the yin and the yang sort of in balance. So again, balance between your home life and your family and your work life. Balance, in many different areas of your life. And then going with the flow, right? Again, this being able to, and I think even the colors are quite similar, I think, on these two cards. And so there's a need for some of you this weekend to be more flexible, to be more open, to be more willing to hear other people's points of view, to listen to other people. If you're dealing with another individual here, and we do have, again, the twos, the two twos here. So some type of balance. A lot of times the 2 has to do with choice, but with these 2 cards, it's more about, and especially with this Two of Pentacles here, so this balance and this need to be more open, right, and to be more willing and sort of go with the flow. That's kind of what I'm getting with the the spread for this weekend. So if there was to sum it up, kind of be open, be receptive, be open to seeing things from a new perspective, listening to others' points of view, and then going with the flow. And then we have with the lake card, right? This lake, and it's called stillness. I wanted to say solitude, but it's called stillness. Let me read you. I like for the oracle cards to read the meaning from the guidebook. So let me find it here. Lake. Lightning. No, here we go. All right, it says, actually, maybe I'll read the first part of this. It says, the subdued pastels. Let me hold this up so you can see the card as I read it. Here we go. The subdued pastels of the early morning light quietly announce that the night is over and the sun is rising. The lake itself hasn't awakened from its rest and remains still and undisturbed. It welcomes the coming day, ready to respond with grace and fluidity to whatever currents and movements appear in its belly or upon its skin. The surrounding vegetation thrives from the abundant water near the shoreline, and the unoccupied boat lies in wait for its next passenger. All is at rest in this scene. It's in the deep internal stillness that we find our being and come to know that we are intimately united with all of creation. To achieve this mindset, we must slow down once in a while and get away from the surroundings that interfere and distract our inner tranquility. When we do so, this profound stillness is available at all times, regardless of the environment. We can experience this sensation with steady, conscious breathing, or we can simply pause for a few moments and be still. The tempo of life these days has sped up considerably, and there seems to be no end to this quickening pace. Immersed as we are in the technological whirlpool, there seems no escape. However, there is no need to be a prisoner to the hurry-up syndrome, nor is there a need to feel trapped by the awareness of the collective intensities that massive numbers of humans are experiencing these days. No matter if the noise is from your environment or your seemingly nonstop thinking, it is critical for you to seek stillness. Find it in your world, whether it is a special place in your home or a place in nature that is far from human-made noise. Of particular importance is finding it inside yourself, which can be made easier by being in a quiet place in a natural setting. Doing so not only relaxes your mind, but also heightens your awareness and your senses. So for some of you, there might be a need to try to be, outdoors if possible, close to water, but really to sort of soak in that the silence of nature, and this could help with this, sort of not reviewing, seeing things from a different perspective, right? Or this being open to change and being open to what this other person has to say to you possibly. There could be a need for you to take this time out, be still, be at one with your surroundings, even if it's just going to a local park and, trying to sit there quietly for 5 minutes, or going out into your backyard or sitting out on your deck just so you can be outside and feel the air on your skin, just have that contact with the outside and be still. Just like the hangman here, he's totally still, he's hanging upside down. He's in this still position. That's, with something that's going on over the weekend, it looks like there's a need for stillness and for you to sort of reflect, spend this time by yourself, possibly to help, gain this new perspective. And then go with the flow, be open to this change, whatever this might mean for you. So I do hope that the messages have helped you in some way. I thank you for joining me today. I look forward to reading for you again. And just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.